This is John's take. And recently I've been a little bit disturbed by circumstances, by a multitude of things that seem to be happening at the same time in our society. I just want to ask you guys, when did we become so sensitive to everything? When did we become so easily, as the millennials say, triggered? Why are we triggered by every single thing that comes up on social media these days? And I find it to be really funny, because how are we to mature as a society? How are we to mature as a country if we're trying to avoid every single thing and trying to avoid mature conversations and mature debates around every single thing under the guise of being sensitive to one another? Really? So, here's my take. If you're so sensitive about everything that other people say about you, then the problem is not other people, the problem is about you. So if I'm sensitive about it, the problem is with me, the problem is not about you. Because maturity means able to take feedback and able to have deep, meaningful conversations that allow us to know each other better and therefore be a little bit less sensitive. Right. So here's a shout out to all the leaders, whether from the political parties or whether it's from the corporate workforce or whether you're just a leader in your society. I think as bosses and leaders, our job is to encourage mature, rational thought. And the last thing in the world that we should be doing is to be jumping in and adding more fuel to the fire and adding more emotions and stirring the pot and hoping that things will blow up even more and make us look good, championing a certain cause. Rather, I think our role as bosses and leaders is to be able to take a step back and encourage people to think, encourage people to enjoy that discourse, enjoy the fact that we can have conversations that help us all mature. I think that's really, really important. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Recently, in the last couple of months especially, there's been an escalation of so many things that are triggered by religion, race, politics, and so on and so forth. And everybody's weighing in with their opinions. But you know what? Sometimes I think we all just need to take a step back and ask ourselves, is this really something that we need to be triggered by? Khat Jawi. It's not about religion, it's about a language. It's about getting literacy in a new language. Chinese New Year is not about a religious celebration, it's about a cultural celebration. It's New Year. We really don't need people who jump in and try to stir up controversy where there were none. I grew up with all these things. And guess what? For me, my faith remains unchanged because I am secure in my faith. So if you're easily triggered, maybe you need to look at the security of your own faith. And that's something for you to think about. So here's what I'd like everybody to do in this festive period, right? We've gone through Christmas, we've gone through New Year, we're going to Chinese New Year, Ramadan's around the corner. I'd like everybody to rise above all of this controversies, to rise above this sensitivities, to say that no, we're not triggered by stuff like that, to say that no, it's okay, we can have those conversations, and we learn to celebrate one another. Now, in the last, I would assume 50, 60 years, ever since I was in school, people have talked about racial tolerance in Malaysia, and they say that as though it's a good thing. But here's something I want you to think about. When you talk about tolerance, how long do you actually tolerate something that you don't like? So, my opinion is that we need to stop tolerating and start celebrating. To enjoy the fact that we are different, to enjoy the fact that we are, in Thailand they say same but different, right? And that mentality has to come in instead of tolerance. Because tolerance has a certain limit, and when we stop tolerating, then you're going to get nasty conflicts, bloodshed, wars, and so on and so forth, because I'm done tolerating. So let's not tolerate, let's celebrate.